myself, I didn't know. But that, I didn't let that stop me. And I let that motivate me more so than anything. That, as long as it's unknown, that means I have a chance. And that's the way I pursue my own career. No matter what the game is, or who you're playing against, you have to want the ball. The clock. The pressure. Block all that out. All you think about is what you have to do to win. That's why I love the end of the game. Because it comes down to that one moment when it's all in my hand.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Flight 23.
I don't always have to get the last shot. I do have to walk away knowing I did everything I could to win the game. When you step on the floor, it doesn't matter how many times you've done it before. All that matters is that you do it now. Those are the moves you put in the hours of practice for. Those are the ones you never forget. I never feared about my skill, because I put in the work. Work ethic eliminates fear. So if you put forth the work, then what are you fearing? You know what you're capable of and what you're not. I've never been afraid. I mean, obviously you're nervous, but afraid means you're not confident in your skills. I have total confidence in my skills, so I'm not afraid. Be true to the game, because the game will be true to you. If you try to shortcut the game, then the game's gonna shortcut you. You put forth the effort, good things will be bestowed upon you. That's truly about the game, and in some ways that's about life too.
All right, and I tell you what, Jordan's fadeaway was just unstoppable. It was unstoppable. All right. You guys ready? Michael Jordan was born February 17th, 63. What?
I said John Moran. Are you tweaking, bro?
What'd you say?
You're true. John Moran. Be quiet. Be quiet. John Moran's a fake gangster. Can you repeat that? People are talking.
I will repeat that.
Please be
Yeah.
quiet. Thank you.
North Carolina. Wait, no, my bad. Michael Jordan was born February 17th, 1963. He grew up in Wilmington, North Carolina. He went to North Carolina University in 1981. He made the championship-winning basket his freshman year, earning him Rookie of the Year at North Carolina. He was drafted by the Chicago Bulls in 1984, and he led the league in scoring, giving him the NBA Rookie of the Year in '84. Then, the next season, he thought he lost everything. He came down hard and flat-footed after shooting a layup. He came down flat-footed and broke a bone in his left foot. And that was like midway into his second season, and everyone thought, oh no, this college superstar who was NBA Rookie of the Year last year, we don't know what's going to happen now. So it was a very scary time for Michael Jordan. Doubts were thrown around about his future. We just didn't know what was going to happen. But what he did after he healed, he came back the next season basically with a vengeance. And he led he made MVP the next, he made MVP 5 out of the next 7 seasons in the NBA. So he had NBA Rookie of the Year, broke his foot, came back, the next 7 seasons, 5 of those, he was MVP. So he just came back like a lion. He just came back with vengeance after his foot injury. He led the Chicago Bulls to win 6 national championships in the 90s, 91, 92, 93, and then 96, 97, 98. 2 three-peats in the 90s. NBA.com lists Michael Jordan as the 5th highest in overall stats, but the NBA itself, as well as most of their sources, place Michael Jordan as the best basketball player of all time, beating out Kobe, LeBron, Bird, Chamberlain in overall performance. Tell you what, as a kid growing up in the 80s and 90s, I was a teenager in the 90s. I wanted to be Michael Jordan. I mean, he was my hero. We would go down. I never made it, obviously. I never made it, obviously. But like 4 houses down from my house in the little village, little town that I grew up in, were some basketball courts. And so me and my friends would go down there and we'd play basketball. And we would play, we called it us being them. If you read my Superman article, I was always Michael Jordan. My best friend was always Scottie Pippen. And then another friend was Dennis Rodman. And we would play as the Chicago Bulls 3-on-3, that sort of thing. It was a lot of fun. So that was in the 90s. I really wanted...
What is funny about that?
Why are you just looking at me?
What's... Did you have a question?
Yeah, but never mind.
Okay. If it's a serious question, that's fine. Don't kill my vibe.
For the past 2 weeks.
Don't kill my vibe.
Somebody doesn't know.
Am I gonna have to remove some of you guys? I mean, are you guys gonna be okay?
I'm good. Oh, actually,
Okay.
I like how you want to be Michael Jordan.
Thank you, Kaden. I appreciate. I did. I wanted to be Michael Jordan. I really did. I really did. He was my favorite basketball team. Or my favorite player. And I don't know if you guys realize this, but watching the Bulls when Jordan was playing, watching the Bulls on TV, you weren't. Okay, I'm going to go out in the lobby right now.
For what?
Don't argue. Just go out in the lobby just for a minute. If you argue, it's going to get worse.
I'm not arguing.
Go out to the lobby right now.
Bro, I ain't even doing that.
You're good. Just for a minute. I'm no dummy.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Yeah.
So, where was I? So watching the Bulls on TV, you really weren't watching the Bulls. You were watching Jordan. I mean, it was a sight to be seen. Him and Pippen were just insane together. And then when Rodman came onto the team, you guys know who Rodman is? Dennis Rodman. He had the colorful hair and he was like the bad boy and whatever. I mean, he got into fights and that sort of thing. But those three, you watch that. I mean, they changed basketball. I mean, it was crazy. It was tons of fun to watch. Michael Jordan, he was really a sight to be seen. When he had the ball, he commanded the court. It was pretty amazing. Yes, sir?
How old were you? Like, were you watching TV as a kid doing it? You know what I mean?
So I was born in '82. I sent Caden out for a minute.
Yep.
Yeah, he's just chilling for a second. Yeah. So I was born in '82. So in 1990, why is that funny? I'm not that old.
No, because didn't he say like he was like playing in the NBA like at 82, like in 1982?
No, he was still in college. He was drafted in '84.
Okay.
84. Yeah. So in the '90s, I was like a preteen teenager, high school, junior high age. Yeah. So that was the prime time when I was playing basketball, right? So that was when Jordan was it. Yes, sir.
You gonna look down.
I don't. JJ, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. You get a gold star for the day. If I could take your consequences away, I would, sir. If I could take your level 1 away, I would. But I can't do that, not yet. Jordan, I mean, really, if you guys watch like those clips there that I was doing or whatever that you saw, if you guys could just like watch a game, if you guys can go on YouTube or whatever and watch a 90s Detroit Bulls,
They're always blurry.
or Chicago, they're what?
It's always blurry.
Well,
Like, you know that one video of like
that's
his arm, it's like 3 feet long?
That's the technology we had, man. I mean, but
Kind of dude.
the game, it was a sight to be seen, especially the championship games. When I was about 10 or 11, my dad, he went to Chicago for his job Fridays and Saturdays. And a lot of times I would go with my dad. And he knew I liked the Bulls. He knew I liked the Chicago Bulls and Michael Jordan. And so one time he took me down to the Bulls stadium. They play in a different stadium now. But in the 90s, there was the old Bulls stadium. And they were closed. There wasn't a game going on or anything. But all along that first floor of the stadium on the glass was the Bulls logo. You know, that red and black bull, you know? It was all along, going along there. I remember going up to the doors of the stadium and like touching the handles and being like, MJ walked through these doors, you know? And it's just kind of how it was, you know? I never met him or anything like that. I never even been to a Bulls game. But I was like, maybe Michael Jordan touched these handles, you know? It's kind of how I was, like when I was a kid. I remember that. My dad took a picture of me. Dude, I was such a nerdy little junior high punk kid. I like had stonewashed jeans and I had like one of those What were those colorful, like shiny sports jackets? What were those called?
Varsity?
Not varsity. They were called something. Star something. What is it?
The rock star jackets look like you stop wearing like that leather jacket.
5-star or something. You know what I'm talking about? But they're really colorful. And anyway, man, I was just a dorky little junior high kid. But man, I was happy to be there at the Chicago Bulls stadium. My dad took a picture of me, you know. I didn't have any real Jordans. I probably had some knockoffs or something because we didn't have much money. But
Yeah, you got that picture?
I do somewhere. I don't have it with me. But if I find it, I'll show it to you. I'll show it to you. I was about 10 years old or whatever, 10 or 11 years old. I do. I remember touching those doors. And I remember thinking, man, Michael Jordan's been here. And I don't know. I remember that. It's a good memory of mine. Today, hold on one second. I'll be right back.
I doubt he actually walked through that door.
Where'd he go? You know where he went? Okay.
He was there.
You know where he's at?
Nah, I left his light right here.
Where's Derek?
Right here. Come up right here.
Okay.
No? Yeah,
We're
we're
here.
here.
Eric's gonna fry him, guys.
I don't even know what happened.
Okay, Sean, what's 9 plus 3? 8. 12. 8? Good job. You were going to jail, sir. I think I work here.
Yeah. Okay, it's all good. All right, cool. Today, Michael Jordan, you ready? Is worth $3 trillion, not trillion, $3 billion is what he's worth today. That makes him the first professional athlete to be among the America's wealthiest people. Professional athlete, one of the first. Besides earning $90 million playing for the Chicago Bulls, he actually made most of his wealth through a deal he made with Nike early on in his NBA career. He made a deal with Nike. He receives, still to this day, 5% of all Nike Jordan sales. So who's got Jordans on? Jordans, I got Jordans. Those are Air Force Ones. Air Force Ones, Air Force Ones. Jordans. I can't tell. Jordans. So those are who got LeBrons? LeBrons, yeah. So there's what, 5-6 pairs of Jordans in here? Jordan himself, when those are sold new, he got 5% of that sale himself. Isn't that wild, kid?
Wait, so didn't he donate most of his money?
He did do some donations, but I mean, he still retained a lot of his wealth. Yeah. No, he's still alive, JJ.
Wait, he's still alive?
Yeah, he's still alive.
I was just about to say, like, going
Oh, that was Kobe.
Well, I'm sorry?
I thought, that was LeBron.
Kobe died in the helicopter crash. Yeah, with his daughter. Yeah, like what,
Wait, his
8?
daughter died too?
Yeah. Like 8 years ago, 10 years ago?
No, 2018.
18? Was it that recent?
Yeah, that's almost like 5 years
Could be.
ago. Sean.
Hold on, I got too many people talking. Hold on.
So did you know they made a toy before he died? They made a
Kobe, you're
helicopter
talking.
toy. No, it was a helicopter toy where he was a transformer and he turned into a helicopter.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like dead serious. And I'm like,
Jeez. All right, so 5% of all. Yes, JJ.
So I got a question. Kobe is the light skinned dude, right?
He's the what?
like oh, like
He's like my color. He's like
No, he looks more like JJ.
Kobe Bryant.
You can look him up later. Jordan's still alive. Kobe died in the helicopter crash. Yeah. Okay?
Bald, guys.
They're both bald. They're both bald.
You can tell who Kobe.
All right, hold on. Back to this. Conservative estimates comes to about $100 million per year that Jordan makes off of his Nike brand. In 2022 was a really good year for Jordan and Nike for whatever reason, like a lot of sales and stuff. It's estimated that he made $250 million just in that 1 year.
What year?
2022, so a couple years after COVID, just a couple years ago.
He did what?
Yeah. Made $250 million off just his Nike
in
branding.
1 year.
Yeah, in 1 year. In 1 year. Well, that's a big part of it, right? So
how much did Nike make?
Oh, a lot.
That- the rest of the
A
95%
lot.
more?
Billions and billions of
Just,
dollars. That's a good question, though,
Jordan.
Ashton.
Wait, he signed a contract with Nike or Jordan?
Jordan signed a contract with Nike where he gets 5% of the Jordan brand sales.
Oh,
Yeah,
his
yeah.
name is But didn't he make Jordan though? Didn't he make
That's his last name.
Michael Jordan.
That's his last name.
Jordan.
I know, but didn't he make the concept?
Oh my god.
Hold on. Katie needs to catch up. Hold on. Hold on.
He made.
Hold on. Shh.
Wait, so Jordan made Jordans, right?
No, Kobe did.
Yeah.
Jordan. Okay.
Jordan and Nike.
Michael Jordan made
Yeah, Mike-
Jordans, right?
No, Nike makes Jordans.
Nike and Jordan make a contract.
Nike makes Jordans.
It was a
Nike.
collab.
Nike's the company. Jordan's the product. Jordan shoes are the
You
product.
gotta find the other half.
It's like Curry's.
You got
So
it?
how come he doesn't get like 50% instead of 5?
Well, he's not physically making them. He just signed
It's
a.
just his
It's a name. It's
Literally
a.
just
It's a
his name.
contract.
Oh, that's why he's only 5.
Oh, okay, only.
No.
Still,
No.
millions and millions of dollars.
So
no.
So these are Under Armour guys.
Okay, let's move on from that. You guys ready?
One more question.
Yes, Katie.
So LeBron gets 100% of his shoes.
Oh, I doubt that. No. He would have a different type of contract, and I don't know what his contract is. Yeah. Is LeBron Nikes too? Who makes LeBrons?
Right there. Those are my shoes.
Is it Nike too?
No,
Because isn't and one is Shaq's brand, right?
Yeah, the and ones.
It's Shaq's brand.
The one that Evan got on.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Let's come back. Bring it back. I got a lot more to go through. Here we go. Let's see here. So this is fun, just for you to know. What does $100 million look like? This is kind of fun. Hold on, I'm going to tell you. I promise. So it's $100 million a year. That's the average of what he makes through his deal with Nike. That, if you break it down, that's $8.3 million a month.
6-0.
Okay, that's $1.9 million a week. That's $274,000, so over $250,000 a day. Okay, a day. That's $11,400 1 hour. So in the hour we're going to be doing life skills from 3:30 to 4:30 or whatever, Michael Jordan, just based off his deal with Nike, has made $11,000. Isn't that wild? That's $190 a minute.
That hurts my brain.
$3.18 every
Strip up a finger.
If I
second.
had that much money, I could
Wait, how much?
$3.18 every second.
That's what you make here.
That's what. Who makes here?
He wishes.
The average income of someone in Michigan is about $60,000. Okay. So Michael Jordan makes more in 6 hours than people in Michigan do in a whole year on his Nike sales. Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. Let me move on to this. Here's a couple unusual facts about Michael Jordan. Talking about the Nike deal. Michael Jordan, originally, he did not want to be endorsed by Nike. Nike actually was not like a basketball brand. Adidas actually was like the track and field athletic brand of the 80s and 90s. He wanted to sign with Adidas. But I think it was his mother. His mother and his manager encouraged him to sign with Nike because they felt like his brand himself could boost Nike into the athletic realm. And obviously they were right? Because when you think of track and basketball, what brand do you typically think of? Nike, for the most part. All right, that's kind of interesting. He originally signed a 5-year deal, only worth $2.5 million. I mean, that's still a lot of money. $2.5 million, but then in 2022, that deal reached $5 billion in sales, and he got 5% of that, which is millions and millions of dollars. Something else that was interesting about Michael Jordan, in 1990, I don't remember this personally, but I believe it. In 1990, Michael Jordan had to play one game against the Orlando Magic with the number 12 jersey on. You guys know what number he actually is, right?
Yeah.
23, and then later 45.
27.
23, I promise. 23, and later 45, back after his retirement. So he had to play one game against the Orlando Magic. Hold on. With a number 12, and here's why. His number 23 jersey was stolen by a janitor of the stadium, and he stole it to sell it, and he hid it up in the tiles of the ceiling, and they couldn't find it. What's that? I don't remember how he got caught, but no, they caught him and everything. But they couldn't find his jersey because it was stolen and put up in the roof, and the janitor was going to return later and retrieve it, and sell it because he was really famous at this time. So for that game alone, he had to wear the number 12 jersey. Is there any sport cards with the number 12 from that game?
I don't know.
That would be really cool. That'd be really cool.
I do have a golden Jordan card though. I do.
Let's see here. Here's something that's interesting about Michael Jordan. He doesn't like large bodies of water, like lakes and oceans and stuff. The reason being is because he actually witnessed a friend growing. There it is. Oh, that's cool. He witnessed a friend drowned. He was with him. I think they were at a lake or something. His friend drowned, and so he had kind of like a phobia of water. I don't mean like drinking water, but like large bodies of water. But Mr. Michael Jordan's style, he wanted to overcome that fear, and so he still will go like on boats and stuff like that, but he doesn't really care for it. But he will get on boats and stuff now. Yes, sir? Gino? I don't know the story. I don't know. Something happened where this happened and his friend drowned.
Was it when they were kids or something?
It was when they're kids. Yeah, it was when they're kids. Yep. It wasn't like when he was an adult. Yeah. Yep. All right. Let me give you these 3 lessons, and these are life lessons coming directly from Michael Jordan. I didn't make these up. A lot of times what I do with these lessons is I look at someone's life and I pull the lessons out of the stories, but these come from Michael Jordan himself, okay? So I'm just repeating them to you, which I thought were pretty good. You ready? Lesson number 1 that Michael Jordan, if he were here, he would want to tell you is this. He would say, trust the game. And he's not just meaning basketball. He's meaning life. He's meaning business. He's meaning relationships. He's meaning school, whatever. He says, trust the game. And here's a quote from him. He says this. He says, be true to the game, because then the game will be true to you. If you try to shortcut the game, then the game will shortcut you. But if you put forth the effort in the game, good things will be bestowed upon you. That's directly coming from Michael Jordan. Obviously, that he meant that with basketball as well, because he invested himself in basketball, right? I mean, he trusted the game of basketball, but he took that not just basketball, and he took it outside of the basketball court. He applied it to his business through his dealings with Nike, his real estate ventures, the houses he built and sold. I mean, things like that. He trusted the game, and he was true to it, and he played by the game's rules, and he said, not always at once, and not always, right away, but eventually the game would be true back to you. And that's in business, relationships, whatever. That's what he would say. Michael Jordan believed that he would get out of the game exactly what he put into it. So if he put in a little bit of effort, he would get back a little bit. But if he put in a lot of effort, he would get a lot back. What is one thing Michael Jordan is known for doing the most compared to the other players?
Sticking his tongue out.
He does that. What did he do more of than the other players? Do you know? You know, Caden?
Get the ball. No.
Donkey.
Teamwork.
You're getting warmer, but so there's the games on, let's say the games are on Saturday or whatever, or on Friday, right?
He would practice like he would
Right.
go alone at the gym and just practice.
Exactly. He was always at the gym practicing. So the other teammates would come into practice, and who was already there? Michael Jordan, by himself. He wanted to perfect that turn shot. He wanted to perfect that fadeaway or whatever it was. He was always there before the rest of the team, and he was always there after. He took the practices just as serious as the games. And sometimes that kind of upset some of the other players, because they'd kind of come in and they might want to kind of chill a little bit or whatever, just kind of relax. And he was like, no, we're going to hit this hard. We're going to do it hard. And he would treat practice like the games because he believed in this. He believed that what I put into the game, which included practice, that would allow the game to give back to me. JJ, do you have something? Yeah, he did.
5 steps early, like where we do like practice 5 steps a year.
Right.
Assume your own gym over there.
Yeah, that's what he would do. Yeah, very right. Yep. He also would say this: if you don't trust the game wouldn't trust you with it. So in other words, if there's certain rules to the game, whatever the game is, school, life, relationships, in you guys' case, Pineview, whatever, if you don't trust the rules are going to bite you. You can't change the game. The game has already been established. Michael Jordan did not invent basketball, right? It already was there. The rules were already in place. He had to adapt himself to the basketball rules, correct? He didn't come in and say, hey, I have a new game to invent and I'm going to make the rules up as I go. No, he adopted himself to the rules that were already in place. That'd be the same with business. That'd be the same with school. Pineview, I mean, you name it. Does that make sense? Okay. Trust the game would be the lesson number 1 that he would tell you. Number 2, this is what he would tell you. Don't let people get in your head. Is that easy? No, that's not easy. That's not easy. Don't let people get in your head. He would say this is a quote from Michael Jordan. He says, it's a heavy duty to try to do everything and please everybody. I can't live with what everyone's impression of what I should or what I should do. I can't live with what everyone's impression of what I should or what I should do. Michael Jordan was getting a ton of attention. When he was Rookie of the Year, he was aggressive. He was getting a lot of attention, especially during his first year in the NBA. Sports Illustrated put him on the cover. Put him on the cover his first year in the NBA. And it said, a star is born. That's what it said. That'd be a cool Sports Illustrated to have, wouldn't it? That'd be a cool one. That would be sweet to have. It'd be cool to have that Sports Illustrated magazine, have Michael Jordan on the cover, a star is born. Well, the problem was this aggravated some of the other NBA veterans that had been in the game for 8, 10, 15 years. It aggravated them. A lot of them, they decided to do a freeze out on Michael Jordan on the next All-Star game. You guys want to freeze out when you play basketball? Do you know what that means? It's when you don't pass the ball to them. So they're there, right? The team's out there, but a freeze out is where the other teammates say, don't pass it to him, don't pass it to him, don't pass it to him. So they did that. There wasn't a whole lot he could do. He still scored a lot. He still was really aggressive. But what he did, instead of letting that beat him up and let him phase him, what he did is when the regular season came back around, he was all more aggressive. Kind of like when he broke his foot, he just came back like a lion. Same thing when the other All-Star members tried to freeze him out because they were jealous, to be honest. He said, you know what? I'm not going to let this weaken me. I'm going to let it fuel my passion. And he just came even harder at it the next season, which led to the early 90s into the later 90s, the 3-peat championships. Yes, sir?
Body breakage right here.
So he was doing a layup his second season, and he came down on his left foot flat. So it wasn't like toe heel. It was like flat and hard, and he broke a bone in it.
All right.
Yeah. All right, let's see here. Where am I at here? So that was an example of guys trying to get in Michael Jordan's head. Now, did he like being froze out? Of course not. Did it bother him? Of course it did. But he didn't let it faze him, or he didn't allow those guys to make him what? Fail or give up. So he would say, don't let other people get in your head. I know that's hard. It happens. It even happens here. People trying to get in each other's heads. I get that. Why do you think those guys were trying to freeze Michael Jordan out? Like, what were they trying to do? What do you think, Caden?
Trying to get in his head.
They were trying to get in his head, but for what end? What were they trying to accomplish? What do you think, Edward?
I feel like get him to quit or something like that.
Right. Ultimately to fail. And if someone can get someone to fail on their own accord, then all of a sudden they don't have to take responsibility over it. So if someone gets annoyed or you're picking on somebody or you get bullied and you have a blow up, the bully can say, yeah, I agitated him, but I didn't make him do that. So they feel like they don't have to take responsibility for that failure. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to edge him, bully him to the point where he said, either I quit or I'm going to blow up or something's going to happen to where what Edward said, ultimately, I'm going to fail. Because they wanted him out. They didn't want him there. Okay? All right, number 3. This is the last lesson. Again, this comes straight from Michael Jordan. This also became the slogan of Nike as a company and the Jordan brand, but even the company itself. Does anyone know what the slogan is?
Just do it.
Just do it, right. Just do it. That came from Michael Jordan. Here's what he would say. He would say, some people want things to happen. Some people just wish things would happen. Others make it happen. In other words, just do it. If you want to do something, if you want to accomplish something, if you have a goal in mind, if you want to do something great, just go for it. Just do it, guys.
Just do it. That's the word. Someone died on their deathbed, and that's the last words they said.
Just
And Nike took it.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Bro, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
From what I heard, it came from Jordan, but I mean, it's possible. Maybe that's where he got it from. That could be.
Someone was on their deathbed, and they just said, just do it.
Huh.
Maybe it was his grandma.
Well, it originated from somewhere, so I'm not sure if that's where it originated from, but it was through Jordan and Nike that it became their slogan. But maybe it originally came from that. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Michael Jordan would say there's 3 types of people. There's people who just want things to happen for them. They want handouts. They want something to happen and they just expect the world to kind of give it to them. He would say there's another kind of person that is just always wishful thinking. Oh, one day if things would get better for me. Or, oh, one day this will happen. Oh, maybe one day I'll fall into greener pastures or whatever it is. And Michael Jordan would say those 2 people who want other people to do it for them or who just have wishful thinking, are they going to be successful or not? No. He would say they would not be. He would say if you're going to be successful, be like the 3rd person. He would say others make it happen. Now you have to weigh what that is. You want to have an attainable goal. There's a really smart psychologist. He says this. He says if your goal is small enough, you can have whatever you want in 5 years. Which that kind of makes sense, right? What you got? Oh, it's okay. I'll bring it back up. He says you can have whatever you want if it's small enough within 5 years, which makes sense. Someone tell me, raise your hand. Someone tell me one thing that you want. What do you want? Anything.
I want a car.
Okay, you want a car? Okay. All right. JJ, what do you want? You want your own place? Yeah, I like that. To go home? I like that. What do you want? Is he 1 million? 10 million, okay.
I clearly want 250 million.
250.
But that's not gonna happen. Like,
So here's what I want to say about that. Give me one more. Caden, what's one thing you want? What's something you want? Shh. Hey.
To go home for sure.
Okay, go home. Sure. Stefan?
Be successful.
To be successful? All right. So here's the thing. You can have, as long as the goal is small enough, you can have whatever you want. So Caius, he said 250 million. I mean, everyone would want 250 million. Is that quite small enough realistically in 5 years?
No.
Not really. But here's the thing.
It could happen.
Here's the thing. If you say, Landon was a little closer, but I thought Landon said maybe 1 million, which I thought, okay,
I said 10 million.
I know you did, but we're going to pretend you said 1.
100% I said 10.
Okay. Well, let's just say in 5 years, if your goal was actually, hey, listen up. And let's say in 5 years, let's say your goal actually was $1 million. I think that actually would be obtainable, but you'd have to figure out how and what, and you would have to pour yourself into that end. You can't just have wishful thinking or think someone's going to do it for you. But if you pour yourself into that end, that would be an obtainable goal. And then once you hit the 1 million, then you could move on. Okay, in another 5 years, I want 7 million. And then move from there and move from there. Does someone who has $90 million, is it unreasonable for him to say, next year I want 115 million? Is that unreasonable? No, because he's already worked for the 90, right? But if you're at ground zero, you have to say, I'm going to work for 1. Does that make sense? Obtainable goals is the idea, but you can have whatever you want within 5 years if you are focused and you take these things that really Jordan is teaching us. Okay, very good. Was that for Shrestha? Was that Cindy? Yeah, okay. All right, very good. Questions, comments, concerns on anything? What's that?
Why am I
You're
broke?
not doing what you.
Because you've
That
decided.
haircut's not doing it for you.
Because you have. Hold on. Let me answer.
It's not funny.
Hold
That's
on.
not funny.
Time out. Let me actually answer that question,
Goof out right there.
guys. So I do want to answer that question. Any person that would say, "Why am I broke? Why don't I have money? Why am I in the situation I am?" My answer would be because the pattern of decisions that you've had in the past has led you to where you are today. That's what I would say. But here's the fun thing. You don't have to stay there. You don't have to stay there. I don't care if you're 40, 50, 60, or 15. If you're broke, financially, relationally, your freedom's been taken from you, you don't have to stay there. Some of you will. Some people do. I know a lot of people that do, but you don't have to. Dominic?
How much those shoes cost?
These ones?
$5 on
Yeah, exactly. I think about 160. I don't know, something like that. Yeah, I think so.
I thought you said
Something like
watch
Hey,
those
watch
shoes.
your toes, you it doesn't want to feet.
Okay, you guys ready? What are we doing? Oh yeah.